$2 or a mysterious bazooka blast? Well, my friend, the Seraphims decided to rebel against the Vegapunks and wreak havoc everywhere. But guess what? An entirely unexpected alliance is about to form, making these brats regret ever being born. Episode 1108 of One Piece kicks off with Minnie Hancock putting on an adorable show. She shot a love beam at York, who thought everything was lovely until she realized she was about to turn into a rock. Buddy, at least she turned to stone with that goofy look on her face. S-Snake still came in with bad intentions, ready to kick York's statue to pieces. But luckily, York is tough and didn't chip a bit. Otherwise, she would be literally shattered. God Usopp was already freaking out, thinking York had passed away, and Lilith didn't understand a thing. Why was a Seraphim attacking them? She ordered the little devil to stop moving, but the girl kept walking like it was no big deal. Usopp started throwing shade, saying they have the world's most brilliant brains and can't even stop this brat. And they really couldn't because S-Snake started charging a massive laser to turn everyone into minced meat. The crew tried to run, but they ended up getting blown away, with Lilith furious that her Vegapunk control didn't do squat. S-Bear was also on a rampage and shot a bazooka blast at Zoro. He had to dodge while holding the two punching bags who were still knocked out. Luffy heard the explosion and rushed to see what was happening. Then Zoro tossed the two onto the ground and said he couldn't wait to fight that guy again. He started trading blows with S-Hawk without losing any camaraderie, but the kid decided to play dirty and slashed towards Rob Lucci and Kaku to finish them off. Zoro ran to block the attack, and the guy had a look of what the heck. Zoro still asked where he was aiming, saying his aim was trash. Thought the Seraphim was back for a rematch. Huh? Man, was he naive. Zoro yells to Luffy for backup, and the kid's all confused. Just a moment ago, these robot dudes were allies, and now they're enemies again. Shaka dashes forward, demanding to know what the hell they're doing. Zoro quips that these kids must be factory defects, but Vegapunk insists that's impossible. They decide to take down the brats, but Astronaut Head begs them to hold off, saying he'll try to stop them with the command hierarchy. He orders them to stop and asks who's controlling them. Zoro's like, is it really that easy? He mentions they came to attack CP0, but he can't let these punks head back to the lobby in cuffs. Just as he's sheathing his swords, the Seraphims start prepping another insane bazooka blast. The crew dodges again while Luffy remarks that they're ignoring Shaka's orders. Meanwhile, against S-Snake, the gang's plummeting after the explosion. If it keeps up, they're all gonna bite the dust. So Lilith yells at them to activate the float mode on their boots unless they want to be pancake batter on the ground. Then we see everyone activating their boots, along with a great view of the golden goose. Everyone except Usopp, who manages to be dumb enough to activate his boots upside down and buries himself headfirst into the ground like an ostrich. Lilith tries to contact Shaka and gets pissed when he doesn't respond, but Pythagoras tells her to stop being dumb. They've lost the signal. Up above, S-Snake watches the chaos with a smug look that would make anyone cry in the shower for 3 days. Just kidding, otakus don't shower. Frankie asks if he can blast the girl with another rocket since she's not obeying anyone, but Lilith questions his sanity, saying it's impossible to defeat her. She was created by the Vegapunks to be way stronger than any human, maybe even stronger than the original Shichibukai. Comment below on who you think would win in a one-on-one, Boa Hancock or S-Snake. And speaking of the devil, S-Snake jumps off the cliff to finish off the crew once and for all. Luffy and the others narrowly escape the explosions. Shaka says they're in deep trouble now. If the Seraphims aren't following his orders, it means they're being controlled by another Vegapunk. Lilith, Edison, Pythagoras, Atlas, York, or Stella. One of them is a traitor trying to wipe out everyone. Shaka says that if this whole being trapped on the island and losing communication thing is part of a plan, it means someone's trying to screw everyone over big time. Luffy is already shook, and even the two punching bags wake up just to curse out the Seraphims. Kaku begs Luffy and Zoro to cut them some slack and take off their sea stone cuffs so they can help fight the Seraphims. But then Kaku looks scared, Lucci looks desperate, and as for the Straw Hats, you can guess they probably loved the idea. Back at the lab, it's filled with CP0 agents looking like they're on their last legs and starving. One of them says they've been stuck there for 2 months without any food. It's a wonder they haven't started eyeing each other like snacks. They explain that 2 months ago, they came to investigate Egghead, but when they tried to leave, they were attacked by Vegapunk sea beasts. The other agents who came to investigate their disappearance ended up in the same place, and everyone thought this guy was behind it all, but he was just as messed up, with his tongue practically dragging on the floor. Dr. Vegapunk was locked up with them, shackled in his old man form. He apologizes to the agents and says he has no idea what's happening on Egghead. The old dude starts having visions of J. Garcia Saturn coming to Egghead and Professor Clover's library, thinking it's all too weird. How could his research on the poneglyphs have been leaked to the government unless there's a traitor? At Marine HQ, they've sent over 100 warships to Egghead. Looks like things are about to get wild. Sentomaru shows up, telling all researchers to evacuate the island. They show Egghead Island along with Sabaody and O'Hara in flames. Looks like someone's about to light this whole place up. Someone asks Sentomaru what's going on for him to send pacifistas all over the island. He explains that a long time ago, Zoro, there was an island called O'Hara that disappeared from the map after rebelling against the world government. It all happened at the world's largest library with the smartest folks around, including Little Robin, of course, but they were researching forbidden poneglyphs and got hit with a massive bombardment that wiped out the entire island. And as you already know, there was only one survivor, the little Nico Robin, who, at 8 years old, already had a bounty of 80 million. Sentomaru says that even though Vegapunk is the smartest dude in the world, the government still decided to off him. So, that means he must have seriously messed up to end up like this. That's why something even worse than O'Hara could happen in Egghead in the blink of an eye. He tells the Straw Hats to get off the island and asks what the heck they're still doing up there. And that's easy. They're still standing there with those dumbfounded faces after the agents asked to form an alliance. Zoro asks if, after they beat the Seraphims, they're supposed to just let themselves get cuffed again. Kaku says, of course, after taking down the kids, we'll surrender and let ourselves get cuffed again. And Luffy's like, oh, then cool, let me take off these cuffs. But Zoro headbutts him, telling him to stop being an idiot because it's obvious they're lying. But they didn't have time to think because S-Mihawk is already sending another blast their way. Zoro notices the kid is using Mr. One's technique of turning body parts into blades. That's a game changer. The kid's already the Seraphim of the world's strongest swordsman, and now he can turn even his butt into a blade. Then S-Hawk makes his leg go back to normal, and Zoro is sure that's really the bald guy's fruit. Man, this green blood in the Seraphims is something else. And the episode ends. In the next episode, we'll have a special on the old and new 4 emperors. It's going to be all about Whitebeard, who kicked the bucket but remained a legend, Big Mom, and Kaido, who got wrecked by the kids in Wano. And then the new emperors, Buggy, Blackbeard, Shanks, and of course, our boy Luffy. And dude, that was the recap of One Piece episode 1108. Don't tell me you didn't get a kick out of those faces Luffy and Zoro made. I almost spit out my drink when I saw that. Seriously, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so we can hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. Only 999,460 to go, I believe. Thanks so much for watching until the end. That's it for now. Peace out.